Hey guys. Sorry. Hey guys. Welcome to this week's review of Portia's Family Matters Season 1, Episode 5 review. Before I get into it, let me just apologize because I've been very, very rude. I didn't wish you guys Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And now, Christmas has definitely passed and New Year's has definitely passed. So I'm hoping the new year is going good for you so far. Now, I don't know what it is, but I'm optimistic about 2022. I think a lot of people are as well. Even though, recent years, hasn't really provided us with any sort of justification to be optimistic for, the future. But for some reason, I am, right? Because I'm just over it. I'm over you know what. I'm not going to say it, but you guys all know what I'm talking about. Okay? And I'm over it, and it needs to be finished right about now. It's done. It's over. I'm tired of it. Next. Okay. Respectfully, of course. Knock on wood. Okay. Let's just get right into the review. It's been a while. I'm kind of rusty. So the episode starts off with Dennis, Lauren, and Portia's ex-assistants. Oh wait, well, one is a current assistant, one was an ex-assistant, right? And they're doing yoga, and that's great in the hot sun. Dennis is definitely feeling the heat, judging by the sweat beads on his head. But let's move on from that. So they did their little yoga thing, and then they got together and they started talking like always. And Dennis brings up the fact that Porsha, of course, is not participating. Like, she's not fully participating in this retreat, right? And, well, I don't know. I kind of got that vibe that Porsha is kind of this sort of separate entity. I don't know if you guys get this by watching it, but I don't know. I don't really, maybe because everybody is new and I'm just getting used to everybody. But for some reason, it's like Porsha is over here and then the rest of the family is over there. You know what I mean? And when you do, it's like Porsha will film with Lauren and Porsha may film with Dennis and Simon, but you don't really see Porsha with the other family members. You know what I mean? So it does feel a little disjointed. And it was a bit weird where you're having this morning activity, this yoga activity, and there's like no family members present, right? It's just the assistants. Like, why are the assistants going to yoga? Okay. I'm joking. Okay, assistants can go to yoga, but if this is a family thing, why is it just them? And this isn't the first time. I find like when Lauren is organizing, like, I guess it's when it comes to the yoga or a meditating thingy-majiggy, it's always the assistants that are there and maybe Dennis. That's it. Like, Dennis is the only one that shows up to these small little shindigs, right? Porsha is not there. Simon is not there. We may get one other family member. Maybe we'll get a Londi. Maybe we'll get that one aunt, and that's it. So, okay, you know what I mean? So, yeah, from what I've seen, I guess Porsha she hasn't been fully participating in this health retreat. And even when she shows up, it doesn't seem like she's in the mood for any healing or any resolution. It just seems like she wants to point the finger or play the victim. So I agree with them. I do. But we're going to see how that's going to play out. But moving on, right? I guess Dennis had some beef with the assistants. Well, one assistant in particular, the ex-assistant. I wonder if that was the reason why he has become the ex-assistant. That kind of, well, I wouldn't say it's a cliche saying. It is a cliche saying, right? Like, if you have a friend, right? and you see their man cheating or doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and you go to that friend and you tell them what's going on, what's going to end up happening, right? Like, she's going to end up turning on you. She's going to get back together with that guy, and then the guy is not going to like you because you just baited out his scene. So both of them don't like you, and yeah, it kind of just all blew up in your face, right? I hope that didn't happen with the assistants, right? Because that would be a classic example of that. Um, but if I'm going to be completely honest with you, if anybody was going to be that person, Portia's probably that person. I'm sorry, Portia is probably that person that's going to get mad at you. You know, when you tell her that her man is cheating and up to no good and da 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 da, and then when they get back together, she will probably turn on you. She probably has done that. But whatever, moving on. But like, so okay, let's, sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm rusty here. So Dennis is mad at the ex-assistant because basically when Portia was pregnant, Dennis, he goes out and he cheats on this lady, and then this lady ends up working in his club. And then the assistant, I guess, goes to the club and sees this girl, and then goes back and tells Portia, and of course Portia's not happy about that. I wonder why, right? You know, I wonder why Portia would be so upset. And I mean, Dennis, you know, when I first started watching this show, I'm like, and even on Real Housewives of Atlanta, I will be honest, yes, I knew that Dennis cheated, okay, but I don't know. It was just something about Dennis and Portia and their chemistry where I'm not gonna lie, there was a little part of me that was rooting for them. But you know, the more I see Dennis, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, yeah, I get it. I'm not rooting for anybody anymore. I am done rooting for people. Okay, I'm done. Right? Because I don't understand why Dennis is mad at this assistant like that. I mean, listen, Portia wouldn't have been upset if you hadn't cheated on her while she was pregnant, right? Then you would have no reason to be mad at this guy. Like, so I don't know. It's like, that's her assistant. I mean, of course he's gonna tell her. Like, that's reasonable, right? Yeah, is it the best for you? Does it make you look like an asshole? Yeah, did it make your partner upset? Did you get in trouble? Sure, right? I get that, right? But I don't know. There's just something in you that kind of has to be like, well, you know what? I effed up and I kind of deserve that. You know what I mean? Maybe I should be a little bit more careful with who I sleep with and make sure that I don't hire them by accident. You know what I mean? Like, how is that the assistant's fault? You just have to chalk it up to bad luck. And it's like, yeah, that's her assistant slash probably friend. Of course he's gonna tell her. Like, what do you expect him to do? So why are you mad at him? You just have to chalk it up to bad luck. You know, maybe it could be a funny story one day. I don't know, but Dennis is seeming a little, okay. You know what? I mean, he's been seeming like that. I don't know. If you watch Tasha K, I don't know if I can completely trust Tasha K and everything she says, but I mean, it's been out there. Anyways, moving on. So, Lauren and Porsha, they meet. And, you know, Lauren confronts Porsha about her not really being involved in this family healing process, right? Because this was her idea to kind of blend the families together. And I don't know, like, Lauren definitely called her out. For sure. Like, Lauren got her together. I don't know if Porsha really received what Lauren was trying to say, but I received what Lauren was trying to say. I mean, Porsha is definitely one of those people, and I've been one of those people for sure, and I've been friends to one of those people where, you know, like they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again in their life, and then it's like every time they come to you and they're kind of complaining about the same thing over and over and over. Like, it may be a different person, but it's like the same sort of narrative, the same sort of story. They're always the victim. Everything is always going wrong, but they never really look at their actions and things that they do to put themselves in that situation, right? So with Portia, she's like, oh, okay, let me not. I'm not trying to be judgy here. That's my little note, right? But listen, can we be real here? Because when Portia was telling her story, which I empathize with her, about her mom not being able to cross the threshold of the steps and blend the two families together and blah, 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 blah. It is a valid, right? It's 100% valid. And that was really, probably really, 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 really hurtful for Portia and Lauren, right? I get that. But Portia, I mean, oh my God. She has to kind of own that, you didn't magically just end up with Dennis. You didn't just magically end up with PJ. You didn't just magically end up engaged to Simon after, according to them, a month of dating. Who knows, right? All this whole scenario didn't just magically come together. You played a part. You played a major role in all of these things, right? And it sounds terrible to say, but yeah, you're PJ's mom, and you kind of, Portia's not responsible for anything, but you kind of, I mean, I don't want to say you chose this situation, but you low-key kind of did, right? You were in such a rush to kind of have a baby and be a wife and do all that stuff that, maybe you didn't. I mean, at the end of the day, you never know how things are going to work out. I'm sorry. I feel like if she took more time to get to know Dennis, right? If she listened to Candy when Candy was trying to tell her about the tattoos on Dennis and all over his body and all that crap, like, if she actually took the time to get to know him, right, and his reputation, took the time to build a relationship with his mom and all that, I mean, it could have still went to shit, right? She could have dated him for a year and 2 years, they get married, and he could have still cheated on her while she was pregnant. You never really know how these things are going to go, but I don't know. She kind of just, I have to hold her accountable for the decisions that she has made as well. And I think that's what Lauren is kind of just low-key trying to tell her. Like, you're looking at everybody else and what they're doing, but you don't realize that you're doing the same thing, right? Like, if Dennis is getting rowdy and calling people out and cussing people out and doing all that stuff, Portia's right there behind him, right? Gina is Gina's a little feisty, but I mean, I haven't really seen her explode or make a scene quite as well, we'll see. We'll see what's coming up, right? So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know at the end of the day, but I think Lauren definitely had it right when it's like, you can't change Mama Gina or whatever. Like, you can't make them be what you want them to be. This sort of picture perfect fairy tale of this blended family, right? They're not going to work on your time just because you're ready to move on or you're ready to create this new life. Did you really take the time and consideration to think about, okay, how is this going to affect Pilar? How is this going to affect Dennis? How is this going to affect his mom? How, like, did you think about these things, or you kind of just rushed into something that suited you the best and you expect everyone to just be okay with it like that without giving them the time to really process anything? Let's just move on here. So Porsha, Simon, Lauren, and Storm, they go RVing. Porsha breaks a nail. Ouch. 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 Okay, but she's okay. She will survive, right? But Dennis and Londi and the assistants. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. I need to learn these people's names. Is the ex assistant, I think his name is Dom, right? Kudos to Dom. Kudos to him, right? So they go and they go tequila, tea, as in they're spilling tea. Okay, let me stop. They go tequila tasting and they have a very interesting conversation. And I guess, my suspicions were confirmed. I just felt like Portia and her family or her assistants, I don't really know what's going on, but Portia and her people seem a little disjointed to me, right? We only really see Portia with Lauren, Simon, or Dennis, and then Storm, right? So I was kind of wondering, is there something going on? And if you do watch Tisa Tells, I remember watching her and she was saying something about Portia not really being as close to her family, right? And definitely watching the show now, I definitely see I see the cracks. I do, right? So let's talk about Londi first off. I'm kind of surprised. I'm not surprised by it because, I mean, have we seen Londi and Portia talk? I don't really remember so far, right? So Londi is not getting along with Portia, right? I guess Londi used to be Portia's personal assistant. Oh my gosh, another one of them. Is everybody in Portia's family her assistant? What's going on here? Oh my gosh. So she was an ex assistant, and then I don't know, at some point or another, she was Dennis's assistant. And the reason why she was fired, according to Dennis, was because Portia told him to fire her. And since then, her and Portia they've been off because she's not a yes man, and Portia has a bunch of yes men around her, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, okay, I don't know if this is unpopular opinion, but that's messy. That's really messy to not only be your cousin's personal assistant, then you're gonna be your cousin's man's personal assistant, right? And it's like they're not even married or been together for a long time. It's like, of course, that's going to be messy because when they break up, which they did, why would you want to be in the middle of that? I mean, at the end of the day, you never know until you know. You may think, oh, it's not going to affect me. They're on and off again relationship. I'm going to be perfectly fine in that scenario. And yes, right, in certain situations, people are mature and they're able to break up and not have it affect their business, right? I mean, rightfully so, it shouldn't affect Londi because she's not in the relationship. She's a personal assistant. But I mean, the reason why you got the job was because I'm assuming, I don't know if she was working with Dennis beforehand and then Dennis met Portia, but it sounds very much so that she was working for Portia and then decided, well, I don't want to work for Portia anymore because she gets on my nerves. Okay, she didn't say that, but that's the vibe I'm getting. So she thought she was just gonna mosey on over to Dennis and that was going to work out in her favor, but no. As to why Portia may have wanted her fired, I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of cruel. I wouldn't do that to my cousin, even if, yeah, I mean, our personal business has nothing to do with, but, at the end of the day, I don't even know. So we're going to find out. So I'm not even going to speculate. Dennis is not also the most trustworthy person to me because I felt like the reason he threw that out there was because he was looking pretty crap because Dom called him out, which we're going to get into. So I felt he just wanted to throw out, oh, well, Portia's the one that told me to fire you, kind of as a dig at Portia, right? Because, I don't know, both Portia and Dennis kind of want to be like, I'm not the bad guy here, when I'm looking at both of them like, yeah, I'm not too sure about that. But I don't know. It could be multiple reasons. It could have been that Porsha and Dennis broke up and Porsha didn't want her cousin working for him anymore. Maybe there was some sort of conflict. There could be so many reasons, and I guess that's something we're going to find out, and I will be interested in that conversation. Now, moving on to something that was wow. Okay, the ex-assistant, I think his name is Dom. Wow, when he said, if there wasn't a bitch, there wouldn't have been a snitch. He worded that absolutely, absolutely perfectly. Basically, if you didn't cheat, then I would have nothing to really expose you with. So why are you mad at me? Like, that's just, how old is Dennis? That's just it's so immature. Oh, you snitched on me. You snitched on me. That's her personal assistant. Of course he's gonna snitch. Okay, he's getting paid to snitch. That's his job, okay? Of course he's gonna look out for Porsha's best interest. Right? Of course. And then I mean, I may have misheard, but I low-key, high-key felt he said, well, that wasn't even the first time, right? I saw you do something and I didn't say anything. And then when you did it again, I decided to say something. So it seems like Dennis has been shady. Like, he has the reputation. Okay? Candy told us. Candy told us about the tattoos and what was going on with him. So he's been a shady guy. So I don't know. I'm just giving Dennis the side eye. More than the side eye. I'm giving him a stare. Death stare. Okay, no, I'm not doing all that. But I don't understand. Why are you mad at him? You did what you did. And I understand that, oh, I have 5 billion employees. How am I supposed to know who works for me? And da, 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 da. Fine, you know what? That is fair. I will give you that. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to suffer the consequences of what you did. If you cheated with someone and you're employing them, like I don't understand. I don't understand why he doesn't understand why people would be upset, or why he thinks, oh, people are stirring up mess and drama. No, they're not. They're looking out for Porsha. That's what they're doing. And you don't like that because that's messing up your crap, so you can't do your dirt undercover. Ugh. Oh gosh, let me calm down. And this whole Dennis and Storm, I don't know, maybe I'm in a mood today, but I don't have concrete proof. I've not been following the blogs. Maybe there has been tea out there and I missed it. But from what I've seen, something happened between Dennis and Storm. I don't know. Like, there's something there, right? Even when Dom was asking him, so you never hit on Storm? You never, try to talk to her? And he's like, of course not. No way. Yuck. Gross. She wants to be Porsha. Okay, he didn't do that, but that was kind of the energy he's giving me, of the little boy that likes the little girl, so he pulls on her pigtails. That was like, she wants to be Porsha Williams. She's not Porsha Williams. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, don't get me wrong. Porsha Williams is absolutely stunning. Okay, I'll give her that. But Storm is also stunning as well. You know what I mean? So why are you acting like Storm is this beast that you would never look upon? Like, come on. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna be rude, right? But he's acting like he's above Storm. Like that's preposterous. Come on, right? And then he's saying, oh, she's a liar because she was saying that she never had a birthday party, but I threw her 21st birthday party. But then I fired her a month later because she was rude. I mean, is that possible? Yes, that's possible, right? Now, I don't know if he threw the 21st birthday party, or the birthday party was just at his location, or she was working that day and he kind of, well, I don't know if they all chipped in, or he bought her a birthday cake, put some candles on there, and then, during her shift on her break, I don't know, they wished her happy birthday, they cut a slice of cake, and that's what it was, and he's calling that her 21st birthday party. I mean, that could be the situation, or did you actually throw her a legit party, right? So if you're gonna throw somebody a birthday party, how does it, I don't know how, I don't know how it goes left so quick. Like, how, why would you be so angry at this person? I, mm, there's more there. There's more there, and I don't believe Dennis, and I think Dennis is petty and spiteful. When Simon is the most likable person on the show, we've got a problem. We've got a problem. Like, what, huh? What? Simon is the, okay. Okay, no, that's a stretch. I wouldn't say Simon is the most likable, but he's the most reasonable. I mean, it makes sense, but then it completely doesn't make any sense at all. So everybody, they meet up for dinner like they usually do on these shows. And of course, dinner, like it usually is on these shows, is a complete disaster, right? Lauren started it. I'm gonna blame Lauren because Lauren asks, Dennis and them, like, so how was your tequila tasting? And I don't know exactly who said what, but, of course they brought up what they were talking about. And guess what? It was a complete disaster, obviously. Um, Portia's assistant, I think her name is Lauren too. I think, I don't know what it is, but I think she's gonna get fired. I don't know. I just got this feeling, right? From the tequila tasting, her spilling a bit of Portia's business about how she's not preggers and all that. Well, we know that Porsha was not pregnant, right? Because she would have had the baby by now. Like, some other people that we know that is, attached to Simon that also has a baby. But let's just move on, right? Yeah, I don't know how you be on a reality show like this and be somebody's assistant and keep your job. And I don't know, Portia doesn't seem like one of those people that's gonna be pretty fair if you talk a little bit of crap about her. I don't know. Portia doesn't give me that impression that she could just let things go. You know what I mean? So, Lauren, I don't know. Lauren the assistant, not Lauren the assister. So, cause Portia kind of snaps at her assistant cause Dom, I mean, was Dom doing too much? Is Dom in the wrong? I mean, okay, you could say he could have just shut up, right? Like, oh, he kept things going. He could have was like, I did what I did. I'm not changing it. I will stand by what I did. I'll do it 10 times over. Whatever. You don't like it, you don't like it, right? He could have just been like that and let it go. But he was upset. And I understand why he was upset, right? Because you don't want someone calling you a snitch or trying to act like you did something wrong when you didn't, right? But at the end of the day, who cares what Dennis feels, right? But I understand that, and Dennis was using Dom as a scapegoat because basically he's trying to say the reason why our family is not together is because of you and because you told Portia and that was the final fight and blah 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 blah. So I can understand that may weigh heavy on someone's conscience, like if someone's accusing you of breaking up their family, right? And I can understand why you would be super defensive to prove that no, I didn't. You were the one that was wrong, and da 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 da. But at the end of the day, I mean, if it wasn't that, it would have been something else. That's just how I feel about it personally. I know you never know. I mean, if Dennis just cheated on her that one time only, and then by happenstance she was now they're saying she was rehired, so this person was working there, right? And then I guess of course he had to fire her once Portia found out they were cheating, and then she was rehired back, but then he didn't know. I don't know, this story is very topsy-turvy, okay? Very topsy-turvy. So it's clearly something sketchy is going on. So I mean, I'm not gonna listen, if you want to tell me that you only cheated once and that was it and then never again, and that was the thing that broke up your relationship, then okay, you may have a little bit of grace from me, but I just got the vibe that this is not a one-time thing. It's just not. This is just the time that he got caught and got called out, because many of people have been talking crap. So, Dom, don't take it to heart. Don't get upset. Don't get choked up. Don't bother, because, he's not worth it at all, at all. Portia, but like, you know, e I don't know. I just feel like Portia takes a little bit of glee in it. And even when she was like, "Oh, Simon wouldn't cheat on his fiance while she's pregnant, and Simon wouldn't do that. Simon wouldn't do that." She's just so immature. From Dennis calling people snitches to Portia, they're both immature and they're both petty. And like I said before, I am not rooting for anybody in this scenario at all. You know what? I'm rooting for Pilar. I'm rooting for Pilar. That's who I'm rooting for. But the, those two. So, of course, Storm wants to jump in. And another thing that I forgot to mention, Dennis, and yet again, I don't know if Dennis is a reliable source, because I feel like he is petty, right? But he said that Portia and Storm don't really talk like that. So what, are they talking the only reason they're talking is because of the show? Doesn't sound far-fetched. Actually confirms Tisa tells T, right? That Portia Williams is not really close to her family. So I'm definitely picking up on that energy, for sure, right? So continuing on talking about the dinner, right? For some reason, I guess Storm interjects because Dom and Dennis and everybody's going back and forth about, I don't know, this whole cheating crap, right? And I don't even remember what Storm said. Storm didn't even have to say much. Dennis turns around and he's like, "Shut the fuck up!" He's so angry with Storm. I don't get it. He doesn't, like, he doesn't pay Dom any mind, or like, he doesn't even have that same energy with Dom. He doesn't have that energy with Simon. He doesn't have that energy with Portia. Well, maybe a little bit with Portia. But something with Storm, he snaps. He's totally like I said, something's going on right there. Right there. Dennis is definitely not being completely honest, because he is just so triggered by Storm, right? And also, before I go into Storm, Gina's basically, Dennis's mom is basically being like, "Okay, can we not talk about this again?" Because we all know that Gina is very triggered by any talk of her son cheating, right? Like, it really bugs her. So she's like, "Stop, let's move on. Let's stop talking about this." Da 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 da. And it's like, I mean, I already said what I had to say about Miss Gina. I mean, at the end of the day, your son did what he did. I don't know how you can really defend that. But I don't know. It's like, but Dennis is engaging in the mess as well. Like, they're all engaging in the mess. They really are. So I don't know what Gina's trying to protect Dennis from, because he seems like a willing participant. You know what I mean? In the mess. He's not shying away from it. So Dennis is here for it, Miss Gina. So just sit back and be quiet. I don't know what to tell you. Right? So like I was saying, Storm interject. Dennis loses it. Portia's like, all of a sudden, she's had enough, right? She's not gonna let him say shut the up to her cousin, right? Which, I mean, if that's where you're gonna put your foot down, Miss Portia, then sure, why not, right? So she goes to security to get them to get out, right? And she doesn't say, "Oh, can you please escort Mr. Dennis and his mom out of here," right? Of course, she's like, "Get Dennis, his sluts, and his mom out of here." And you shouldn't use the word sluts and mom in the same sentence, right? Just don't. Even though she wasn't calling Dennis's mom a slut, just her using it in the same sentence was just a little too close for me. It was just don't use slut and mom in the same sentence. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. Right? So, yeah, they're on their way out, and of course, it's a cliffhanger situation. There is a physical altercation. It's kind of hard to really see what happened, but it seems like Porsha and Dennis, because I thought it was going to be Porsha and the mom. Maybe it was Porsha and the mom and Miss Gina, and we're not, just based on the angle, we're not really seeing. I think it was Porsha versus Gina and Dennis, to be honest, from what it looks like. So I guess we're just going to have to wait for next episode. I don't know who struck first or what is going on here, but I don't know. Like, to me, in this situation, no one is the villain. No one is the victim or the hero in this situation. It's just one big mess. And Porsha and Dennis, they're very, 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 very petty. They're very petty. And maybe in a strange way, that's why they're a good match. A good match for dysfunction. Okay. It is just, wow. Wow. Great start to 2022, guys. And then, I haven't really been following what's been going on in the blogs, but I read I see the headlines, but I'm like, I'm over it. You know what I mean? But maybe now I'll go and see what's going on, because there seems to be a bit of back and forth between Porsha and Dennis. Basically, Porsha saying what Dennis is a deadbeat dad and this, that, and the third, and oh my gosh, and it's like, it's really sad, honestly. It's really sad. It's really disappointing, because at the end of the day, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the drama, but you always want to have a happy ending at least, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of messy now, but you would hope by the end of the season that they would all figure it out and they would be one big happy blended family. But I mean, that's not gonna work, because basically by the end of the episode, we see them exchanging blows. So I can understand why they're not in a good place. This is a disaster. It really is, and that's why, don't they say reality television ruins families? I don't know. Wow. I can't wait for next episode, I guess. Anyways, that's everything, guys. I hope you really enjoyed your holidays. And if you didn't, I hope you enjoy this week. Okay. And if you did enjoy the holidays, I also hope that you enjoyed this week. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Bye, guys.